These men are coming at me. I actually didn't think I was gonna cry. I couldn't even make it through a day these last 6 months. My 16-year-old baby. Did he offer to help? Absolutely not. Bringing in groceries is the one thing I literally hate doing, and I might need a man for that.
Welcome back, everyone. In today's review, the narrator talks about a woman on the internet who recently divorced her husband and is now sharing her side of the story on TikTok. According to the narrator, her former partner's friends and family were not fully supporting her version of events and seemed to side with the husband instead. The narrator claims that because of this, she started posting videos to explain her situation and present her husband in a negative light. In this clip, the narrator suggests she is changing details as she speaks and questions the accuracy of her story.
Was getting to his 100. And so it was the day after Easter. That was when he got so up at work drinking. And when I say his mask never fell in public, it never fell in public. And that was his narcissistic trait. He always put on this charming, charismatic, everybody fucking loved him. Everybody loved him. Even now, after the fact, people still fucking love him. And I was painted as a crazy one, which it didn't matter to me. I don't care. If you want to call me crazy, if you want to make me look like the crazy controlling wife, it doesn't matter. Because inside, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to have the energy and the ability to take care of and do of everything that I need to do. Like, he was no longer my focus. And so he got super violent at work. Everybody saw it. Everybody was scared. Nobody knew what to do. I didn't know what to do. And so I completely shut down. And ultimately, I finished out my work day and we went home together. And this is when it got, and this is very, very hard and very sad. So we get home and the kids knew when Dad was in a bad mood. When that garage door slammed with such force, they knew something was wrong. And me and the kids had a symbol. When I came home and I would do this, that meant that the twins would gather their toys or their whatever it is that they were doing, and they would go to Lauren's room. And then they would shut the door and the three of them would stay in there quietly together. And so I will immediately go to the kitchen, start cooking, start cleaning while he's raging in the background, slamming doors, throwing things, breaking things, throwing beer bottles. And he had went into the shower. So he went to shower and I went to Lauren and she goes, "Mom, somebody from your work had texted me." And so I read it and she just wanted to know if I was okay. And so I told her, I said, "Text her back, tell her I am okay." And Lauren says to me, she was like, "Mom, it's really bad, huh?" And I said, "Yes, baby, it's very bad." And she says, and I said to her, and Lauren says, "Mom, sometimes I don't know what you want me to do." And I said to her, I said, I don't know what to do either. And I told her, I was like, "Buddy, I worry for him. I worry about your dad and I don't know what to do." And she says to me,
in this segment, the narrator says that people familiar with dishonest behavior may notice what they believe are warning signs in her speech, such as hesitation and changes in tone. The narrator also claims she is using her children in her story to gain sympathy from viewers. They express doubt about the serious accusations mentioned against her ex-husband, suggesting they do not find them believable. The narrator continues by saying she appears emotional in her videos and repeats similar claims involving her children.
I actually didn't think I was going to cry. And so my baby, and when I tell you that So I gave up. I gave up on him. I stopped praying for him. And I only prayed for me and the kids. Please keep us safe. Please get me through the day. And he is now in your hands. I can no longer save him. I don't know what to do with him anymore. Lord Jesus Christ, please help me. I don't know what to do. And my baby girl was the one who she was the one who took us out of this nightmare that we have been living. But ultimately, I think she did something way more than setting me free, than giving us that peace and that quiet that I wanted my kids to have. She did more than bring laughter into our home. She did so much more than I think she will ever understand. It was a matter of time before he would suffer a heart attack or a massive stroke. He already has, health issues. And so my baby, besides giving me my peace, besides saving her brothers from potentially growing up to being like her dad, she probably ended up saving his life.
Here, the narrator argues that her statements are becoming confusing and hard to follow. They point out that she frequently talks about her daughter and says her children are what keep her going. The narrator finds this unusual and questions how she expresses her emotions. They then introduce more clips, saying they will continue examining her statements and reactions before moving on to discuss possible regrets.
My biggest fear was always that, and this is so terrible, he was going to have a heart attack, he was going to have a stroke, and I would be stuck taking care of him for the rest of my life. And I couldn't even make it through a day these last 6 months, let alone having to take care of him if God forbidden he had a stroke or heart attack. And I still have so much love for him, and I still want to protect him because he's my kid's dad. But what Lauren did was she saved us. She saved every single one of us, my 16-year-old baby. And I knew there was a reason why God blessed us with our beautiful kids. And when I say they are beautiful and kind, and their energy just is so pure and innocent. And Lauren is what broke this cycle, and she did what most adults could not do. And she gave me my peace.
In this part, the narrator says the woman was given a good family life with children, but chose to end her marriage for what they describe as selfish reasons, which they believe has negatively affected her children. The narrator rejects her claim that she still loves her ex-husband, suggesting instead that she was more concerned about the responsibility of caring for him if he ever became unwell. They argue that this shows, in their view, a lack of true care or commitment in the relationship. The narrator also claims she still expects support from her ex-husband even after choosing to leave him.
I just left my husband of 23 years, and tell me why. I was in the garage unloading the groceries, and my ex had pulled up to drop off the twins. And he sees me unloading the groceries. Did he offer to help? Absolutely not. He stood and he watched, though. And so I obviously wasn't going to give him the satisfaction and asking for help because, we are independent over here. And so you bet your ass off that I picked up all 15 bags of groceries, milk and everything in one go because we are strong. But my arms still really hurt though. So I need to go to the gym and lift some more weights because I feel like bringing in groceries is the one thing I literally hate doing. And I might need a man for that.
Here, the narrator comments on a video where the woman describes herself as strong and independent while talking about struggling with simple physical tasks like carrying groceries. The narrator argues that no one is fully independent and says people rely on each other in different ways. They also make a comparison between men and women in terms of physical ability and survival, suggesting men may rely less on support for certain tasks. The narrator adds that the woman's video received strong negative reactions from viewers, especially men, and says she struggled to handle the backlash.
I just left my husband of 23 years, and ladies, I really need your help. Do not scroll. So the last few days, I recently popped over some of my content over to Instagram. And Instagram's algorithm is putting my shit on the feeds of men. So go over to my Instagram account, read these comments. It is wild. I literally cannot keep up with these BS comments that they are leaving. It is wild. And it's like I would respond to one, call out one, and then 8 more would pop up. I can't do it. And so 2 of my videos basically talking about the disrespect and the shitty baby daddy by experiences, right? Like if you can't read in between the layers, then you're the problem, right? And so these men are coming at me. And obviously it doesn't hurt my feelings or anything because being with my ex for 23 years, you build up tough skin because there's nothing people can say to me no more that's gonna hurt my feelings. I mean, the love of my life was supposed to, be nice to me, and he still wasn't. So I am telling you right now, they are coming at me. And I don't know why. I am only showing on the algorithms, shit, whatever it is, for men. It is insane. I need your help. And if you have nothing to do today, let's go.
In this part, the narrator says the woman is being dishonest and claims she is saying anything to gain attention online. They point out that she now begins her videos by saying she left her husband after 23 years of marriage, and they suggest she is doing this because it gets more views. The narrator also claims she is adding more details to her story over time and presenting new versions of events to keep people watching.
I just left my marriage of 23 years, and I just got done with work. And my ex, who never, for Mother's Day, in the 23 years that we've been together, sent me flowers. And he waits until after I'm done with the marriage for him to send me some flowers. And the crazy part is that I fucking hate roses. My favorite flowers are peonies. And after 23 years, you would think he would know that, but he didn't. And the most shittiest thing was that for Mother's Day, he had always told me that why would he get me anything for Mother's Day? Because I'm not his mom. Like, what?
Here, the narrator expresses doubt about a story involving flowers, suggesting it may not be true and could have been staged. They argue that her current version of events does not match what she said earlier, especially about her ex-husband's behavior. The narrator says there are noticeable inconsistencies in her storytelling and claims she often appears to think carefully while speaking, as if adjusting her story in real time. They also allege that she is now reframing past moments from the relationship in a negative way.
So I left my husband of 23 years, and every day I'm noticing little things that I had sacrificed to just please him. And this morning I'm getting coffee on my way to work, and it clicks on me that I haven't been able to enjoy my first morning sip of coffee in forever. I can't even tell you how long. And it would be because we would drive to work together, and I would always order us 2 coffees. It's the same coffee. And before he would give me mine, he would take a sip from my cup, even though he has his own cup. And it's so small, but it just felt like, why did you have to do that? I don't understand. But now I can do this and I can have my first sip of coffee in peace.
In this final part, the narrator shares their overall view of the situation. They say the woman got married, then later chose to end the marriage because she believed she could do better and thought her husband would not cope well without her. The narrator claims that when things did not turn out as expected, she began speaking negatively about her ex-husband and presenting herself as the victim in the relationship. They also say that people close to her seemed to support the ex-husband more than her, based on what has been shared. The narrator encourages viewers to be cautious in relationships, focus on personal goals, and stay disciplined in life. The clip ends with the narrator thanking viewers for their support and asking them to like, comment, and share the content.